I want to talk to you about words. I love words, and in our lives, words are everywhere. But how are you using your words? I always think about the fact that words quite literally frame our world. That how it is that we see the world, how it is that we experience it, that we use words to describe it, to talk about it, to share it. So we speak the words, we write words, we read words, we hear words. So words have got this amazing force. But I was looking at some of the combinations of words. Now, words have the power to heal, harm, hinder, humiliate, humble, etc., etc. You know, when we were growing up and they said that sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you, they lied. Because how many people have been impacted in a negative or not so pleasant way by the words that people have spoken to them or over them? You know, that whole thing that you're stupid, you're ugly, you're fat. You know, those kind of words and the ways in which it is that they have been expressed have impacted us. So we know that words have got power to change things, to make things happen. I want to talk to you about a combination of words in particular. There are two words, and I'm beginning to feel that in addition to the fact that, you know, the things that come out of our mouths actually dictate whether it's a good day or a bad day, whether or not that person thinks that we like them or we don't like them, or we pull somebody down or we lift somebody up. But these two words, I think, don't necessarily work in our favour. And those two words are I and no. And when we put I and no together, I think what it then does is it stifles oxygen to anything that comes next. How many times have you been to maybe to a workshop, you've listened to a podcast, you've watched something on TV, you've been in a classroom, and the person that's speaking begins to talk about something that you have already experienced, already understood. And you say to yourself, oh, I know that. For the rest of that conversation, you've heard nothing of what's being said. Now, you've heard the words, but you actually haven't heard what's being said because you already know it. And the moment it is that we find ourselves saying, I know, I think, I believe that we should stop ourselves. Because even if it is that we have an understanding, because I think that's it, because we will never really know everything about a thing. I mean, in real terms, we don't know everything about ourselves. So how can we possibly hope to know everything about a particular subject matter? So any time that we feel ourselves saying that is a great time to pause, take a breath, and actually release that. And actually say, do you know what? I understand this subject. I understand that topic. But it'd be really interesting to hear what is being said here. Because I think it does one of three things. One is it either just confirms what it is that you already know. And so that's really great. Because you know what? That's great. It provides you with a new perspective on what it is that you already understand. Or it brings in a little gem that you think, oh my gosh, I hadn't had that. I didn't understand that. And therefore it enriches your experience. So it's either going to say, do you know what? Yeah, I'm cool. Yeah, I already had that knowledge. Or it gives it a little polish that says, okay, I've got that knowledge. What am I going to do with it? Or actually, oh my gosh, that's a little bit that I can bolt on to what it is that I already know. And that's awesome. I know is not, yeah, I don't think that they're good words, that they need to be in isolation. Yeah, I think that that's it. In this season, isolate I and no from each other so that they can go about their business doing what it is that they do best, but they're not doing it together. Because that then opens us up to a whole realm of possibility. Because you can hear the same thing every day, but depending on what lens you're looking at it from or through, you will get a different take on it. The world of personal development is a great example in that the core principles are the same, and it doesn't matter who says it, where it is that they're coming from, how many years that they've been saying it, the core principles are the same. But what each and every one of us have is our own flavor to bring to it. That we have a different way of looking at it. We have a different experience along the journey to illuminate it. And so therefore, when I hear you say it or talk about that topic or that thing, it's a different experience to the one that I've had. It's a different experience from the one that I've read about or that workshop that I went to. It's a different experience. So, and if I had said, yeah, I know that, or I know, I'm not hearing the richness that you are bringing to the table. I'm not understanding the value that you are bringing to that topic area or to that thing. And so equally for all of us, we're not valuing the person that's sharing with us. Because of course, we already know that. So what is there to learn? Because that's almost what it is that we're saying. The moment it is that we say, I know, we are saying there isn't any more to learn. Yeah, I'm already there. Yeah, I'm an expert, etc., etc. When in real terms, that you have a wealth of knowledge, you've got a wealth of expertise, you've got a wealth of experience, and that is valuable. So I'm not saying that it's not valuable, and I'm not saying that you don't know things. I'm saying that the moment you put I know, full stop, or I know that, full stop, I know it, full stop, actually we're living in the past, aren't we? Because we're basing it on what it is that's already happened as opposed to what's happening now and what's moving forward. That even goes with people that we say about people in our lives. I know them. And so now you are, I'm going to use the word judging for you to illustrate my point, that you're judging them based on past experiences. Because now they may be doing things differently, or they may be different in some way, but you're not seeing that because you know them. Yeah, you know what, I know that person because in 1915 they robbed that bank and that makes them a robber. Yep, it made them a robber in 1915 when they did it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's who it is that they are now. They may still be, but you will never know because you've already shut the door. You've already stifled oxygen into that experience, that thing. This season is probably a really great one, or not so great one, for relationships, for husbands and wives, for parents with their children, because whatever it was that you knew about them or of them, or what it was that you thought you knew, that this season has to have enriched and enhanced that, or even changed that, because you are now seeing them in 24 hours a day in some instances. And so you're seeing different sides to them that perhaps you hadn't seen before. And so that whole I know had to have shifted, or it had to have shifted if you allowed it to shift. Because I think with all of this, it's actually a choice that we make, isn't it? That there is never that kind of moment where it just happens automatically. We have to be open to that. So it's that whole thing that the words, the language that we use actually makes things happen. Okay, we have to take action, of course, but that whole, that we set it up, I think that's probably it, isn't it? That actually in terms of the words, that we set up the scenario and then we act accordingly. So if I woke up this morning, if you woke up this morning and said, today's a bad day, okay, and it is, and everything else throughout the day will support that, because almost like our brain is looking for ways to reinforce what it is that you said, because your words are power and you have the authority, and you said it's a bad day. So therefore, I need to look for all of the ways in which it is that I can confirm the fact that you are right. Yes. That reminds me of Henry Ford, who essentially said, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Whatever it is, that if you said that it is this way, in terms of your thinking, in terms of your being, in terms of you showing up, then actually that is what it is. And so equally, if you said it another way, then that's what it is also. And so we get to choose. So talking about the kind of possibly the worst combination of I know, it just reminded me that possibly the best combination is I am. That whole kind of series of affirmations, because everything that follows I am, we are declaring energy and life to. So when we say I know, we are stifling oxygen from it. When we say I am, we're giving life and oxygen to it. There are times where we say things like, I'm so stupid. Stop it, because you're not. I'm not good enough, etc., etc. Whatever it is that you have said to yourself or are saying to yourself, you know what I'm talking about. I'm saying to you, it's time to change it. Time to flip it. Don't, you might say to me, yeah, but that's the truth. No, I'll probably say that that's facts, but that's not the truth. That whilst it is that you may acknowledge that that was a stupid act, or that was actually, yeah, really, don't speak of then what it is that you have done. Talk about who it is that you are, or actually even want to be. You've heard that saying, like, fake it till you make it. I don't necessarily subscribe to that, but that whole thing of actually, if I say that I am powerful, if I say that I am valuable, if I say that I am enough, that if I say it often enough, then I will believe it and I will walk in it. And when I say I'm talking about you. That whole thing about actually your words frame your world. I know, yeah, self-isolation, they need to separate, keep them separate, but I am is so powerful. It really is. And I want to challenge you today to actually be conscious of your I know statements and move beyond that and see what then unfolds for you, the richness that you experience as a result of that, even if it is just to confirm what it is, the realm, the amount of knowledge or wisdom that, or understanding that you have over a particular thing or a particular person. But don't stifle oxygen to it. And then on the other side is actually write your I am statements. Write the I am statements of the person that you want to, need to, are in order to achieve your goals and your dreams. It's that whole thing where we spend a lot of time looking at what we'd like to achieve, the mountains that we'd like to climb, that whole vision. And that's really great and really powerful and really important, and keep doing that. But we forget about the person that we need to be in order to achieve those things. And that's the person that we need to find. And when I say find, I'm talking that person already exists in you, but you need to peel back the layers of life, of trials, of tribulations, of mistakes, failures, whatever, that's kept that person buried. Find who it is that is and create your statements for who it is that you are. And then every day, look in the mirror, and that's really important, to actually look at yourself and say those statements aloud. Okay, if you're in a house full of people, maybe standing in the middle of the front room isn't the way to do it, although you could get everybody joining in, that maybe it's to go to the bathroom and actually kind of stand in front of the mirror and actually talk to the boy, the girl in the mirror, and tell them that, say, I am enough. I am valuable. I am powerful. Whatever it is that those affirmations are for you, then actually use it, because I am will change everything. Because I know I stand in front of the mirror and I say, I am awesome. And when it is I make that statement, I am never making that statement so that you will agree with me. I'm not making that statement to get you to my way of thinking. I'm making that statement because that is my truth. And that is what it is I'm standing in. And so when it is that we're saying these I am things, it isn't about anybody else. You're actually not asking anybody else to agree with you or even anybody else's opinion on that. You're making that statement so that you frame your world in a really powerful way, so that you show up on purpose and make the difference that you're here to make. And like, some people are here to make a difference in their house. Some people are here to make a difference in their neighborhood. Some people are here to make a difference nationally, internationally, globally. It's about knowing that we are all here to make a difference. We actually are all influencers. Yeah. You know that we talk about influencers in terms of how many people have you got following you on social media? Yeah, that makes you an influencer. No, I'm saying that you are an influencer right where you are, whether you're on social media or not, whether you've got 1 follower or 10 million followers, because there is somebody in your world that you are influencing. Whether or not it is that your children in your household, whether or not it is your friend down the road, whether it is that your neighbor, you have an influence over people and over things. And so it's that whole thing of just owning it, that, do you know what, right where you are enough, and you are an influencer, and you choose how it is that you influence your world. But it all starts with what it is that you tell yourself. Because you can't tell yourself one thing and show up in another way. So you can't sit here and say, do you know what, I'm really scared. I'm really, oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm really, really scared. And I don't know what's going to happen next, and I'm scared. And then stand up and go out and be confident and be clear and be the happy, the energized person that actually is kind of shining the light and leading the way. Actually, you can't, those two things don't work together. You can't say one thing and show up as another. Unless, of course, you're an actor or an actress, but then you can only do it for a short period of time and it is not sustainable. So choose where it is that you want to stand. And I'm not saying that the fears or those kind of emotions aren't real. That's not what it is I'm saying. And I'm not saying that you need to pretend that they don't exist. That is not what it is that I'm saying. Because if that's what it is you're feeling, you need to honor those feelings, acknowledge them, and then work your way through them. Because that's not where it is that you live. So the language that you speak is not about confirming that. It's about affirming who it is that you are. Okay, I think, I could probably keep talking about this, but essentially, use your words wisely. Use your words to build yourself up and to build other people up. Okay, and remember, I know they're on self-isolation because it stifles oxygen. I am brings life to you and your world. Okay, let's do it. Let's go bring life. That's the answer. Okay. I'm sending you lots of love from my heart to yours. Have an absolutely fabulous one.